overtime pay. We're talking the overtime play. The big stories, the big plays, the big drama. We got Jared P and Johnny O. Jared P and Johnny O. Jared P and Johnny O. Jared P and Johnny O.
Welcome to Overtime with Jared P and Johnny O, episode 54. And we're excited to get into, is Shedeur Sanders the real deal after one preseason game, looking good in that game at least. You know, we'll talk about Brewers baseball. Johnny's our baseball guy, 10 wins in a row. Are they for real? Is this a small market year? You know, so these big market teams winning. And then our number one for each of us, the NFL player we're most excited about going into this season, excited about their season. But our top sponsor, Johnny?
Estate Jewelry and Loan, something old, something new. Estate Jewelry has a great selection of new and estate jewelry, and you can really find a nice, unique piece in Brian's showroom. You can find him. He's got jewelry, diamonds, watches, all kinds of gold, all that kind of good stuff. You can check them out at 2511 Battleground Ave and also at estatejewelryloan.com. And also Salsarita's Fresh Mexican Grill, located in High Point at the Palladium and in Greensboro in the Target Shopping Center on New Garden Road. Please mention us to them. They are excited. They've gotten some customers from us. I just spoke to Miguel over at the Greensboro location.
Oh, good.
Food truck. He's got catering, a lot of catering. They're big on catering. I ran into Miguel, who's the general manager over there. They were leaving at 10 o'clock in the morning for 10 catering events. So that's big.
Wow.
Daily specials, and you can find them at salsaritas.com.
Yeah, they catered a major event for us a few years back, a pool party and a graduation party. They were great. And it's like they take it, they set it all up, then when you're done, throw it away. It was great.
It's the way to go.
Everyone loved it. All right, so Shedeur Sanders, controversial pick. People thought going into the season last year, his final year at Colorado, that he might be a lottery pick. There's lots of talk about him being a top 10 pick. Then it slid, well, maybe he'll be late first round. Maybe he'll be second round, at early first, second round. Then he ended up being a fifth round pick. He botched the interview reportedly with the Giants, and that's been reconfirmed multiple times. Came across as arrogant. And people say, well, maybe he's more of a system quarterback and he's not going to, his skills, which happens a lot, will not translate to the pros. And against the Panthers in preseason, contextually, he looked good. He had escapability. He was making on-target passes. He was making off-script passes, which to me is the most impressive. But Johnny, what do you think? Are you excited about Shedeur, or is this just preseason nonsense?
Yes, I'm excited. I'm a big Shedeur Sanders fan. The whole fifth round, 144th pick thing just is still mind-boggling to me and millions of other people. The Cleveland Browns just do things a little differently. But it's kind of funny that, it took a couple injuries for him to, start this first game against the Panthers, which, shoot, I should have went and visited my son Lucas, and we probably should have went to that game because I love the way Shedeur plays. So I watched it. He looked like he did in college. The only two mistakes that I saw him make is what he used to do in college, is try to extend the play, but moving back. He's getting chased and he's moving back 10, 15, 20 yards. And I think he did it at least once, maybe twice in the game. But, man, he looked good. I mean, he was, staying in the pocket, moving over, moving here, moving there, had a couple of great runs, 4 carries, 19 yards. And I think 2 of his runs gave him first downs. But that 14 for 23 and 2 touchdowns, and the 2 touchdowns were very accurate. He's an accurate passer. I mean, he was like 73 or 74% in college. Did get sacked a couple times. Loved the way he played. I don't know if the Browns are playing games or what, because he's still number 4 even after that start against the Panthers. But, Dylan Gabriel and Kenny Pickett, well, Pickett's number 2, Dylan Gabriel number 3, which I can't figure that out. They both have hamstring situations. That will linger all season long. I don't know if you ever pulled a hamstring. But
it's terrible.
It's
if you
awful.
Don't really heal, you're in trouble.
You got to rest it, just like a groin type thing. And that's what Caitlin Clark's going through right now. But Joe Flacco, he's just old, but, he's going to probably start the first couple games. My dream thing would be to see Shedeur in that lineup starting, or even going in maybe in a second half when they needed him. And he has a half like he did the other night and just kind of bounces into that number 1 spot, even the number 2 spot. Give me that, because he's exciting to watch. And and he was playing with his second and third stringers, on offense. He's got Jerry Jeudy from Alabama. You remember him, how great a receiver he was. But that's about all they really have as far as receivers. So we shall see. Cleveland just, I don't know. If they're not going to use them, then send them to some other team, because some other team can use them. This guy is going to be a legit NFL quarterback in my mind.
All right. Well, I like your take, but I would say pump the brakes because it's preseason football. I think every year that the Patriots won the Super Bowl, they won like 1 or 2 games in the preseason. That's when they play 4. They're not going to show you anything. They're not going to expose certain players more than a drive. He's doing this against second and third string, and especially third string. Half the people he's playing against won't even make the team, probably, with the Panthers, who are one of the worst teams in the NFL, although improving. I did like what I saw, though. Like, the eye test was like, could he start in the NFL? Yeah, I think so. I think if Cleveland were smart, Cleveland knows they're not going to win a Super Bowl this year. They know they're not going to sniff the playoffs. They're just not. And so, do you want to sell tickets? Do you want to get eyeballs? Then I would start Shedeur Sanders week 1 and let him roll for 4 or 5 weeks and see how he does. Why not?
Yep.
Joe Flacco, you might win 7 games this year. For what? What's that going to do? Get a good draft pick.
And he knows the game of football. Okay, I mean, I think that puts him above a lot of rookies that come into the game. Into the NFL. I mean, obviously he knows the game. He learned it from his dad, and he's, it's been in his head probably since he was 3 years old. And that's what he showed me Friday night during the game. I mean, he was pretty relaxed out there, and that was very impressive. But it would, I don't agree with you on throwing him right in there for their first, right off the bat, because I think I'd just like to see him get to that number 2 spot behind, Joe Flacco, and kind of work his way in there, at least, see what Cleveland's got, what they're going to do, what they need, what kind of offense they're going to run, and have Shedeur kind of fit into that system, maybe around game 4, 5, or 6. But it's all up to the Browns. I like their coach, but I'm not sure about the organization. So we should see. We shall see, I should say. But God, I want to see him play. But it doesn't have to be this year. I'm saying he's going to be a legit NFL quarterback down the road.
Well, they said after the first preseason game that the Browns got calls from several teams asking, interest in trades already. So,
Really?
So, yeah, I read that 4 or 5 teams showed interest, whether for a starting, I don't know, or a surefire second string. I don't know. I think I look at it from the entertainment aspect. I mean, winning is what you want. And Joe Flacco did have was it last year? He had a run where they won, or maybe it was the year before, like, in a row with him. And it was exciting for a little bit. And and they have a good defense. So they could sneak into the playoffs. It's a tough division, though. I don't see it happening at all. But if you're going for pure entertainment, put him out there. Who's going to sell tickets, Flacco or Sanders? Sanders.
I got you. I agree.
At least start it, but because I think Flacco will be on a short leash anyway. If he has 2 stinkers, he's out, which sucks because he's had a good career, but that's how it goes in the NFL.
Yeah.
But I think we're on the same page. There's something about Shedeur Sanders that Sanders swag where you're just kind of like, and there's been so much controversy. You're right. He should never have slipped to the 5th round.
Yeah.
If he's as accurate, even close as accurate as he was in college, and he can move and he has escapability, I mean, that's like everything in the NFL. You saw Jaden Daniels do it last year. His escapability and accuracy, he's not as good as him, but I mean, if you have someone that's kind of like that, I don't know. If you're Cleveland, I would roll the dice. But having 4th string, it's like, seriously? But I don't know.
He's got an arm. I mean, he threw some bullets. And a lot of the 2 touchdown passes were absolutely bullets. He's not as fast as his dad was. Who was, but I mean, but he's got adequate speed, but he's not as agile behind center as a lot of these other quarterbacks. But he's more of a drop back quarterback, and he just has to learn not to hold on to it too long. And and that's
tough. I mean, these 7-on-7 drills and quarterbacks are so elite that they're getting the best type of coaching from the time they're in middle school or even earlier, depending, which is crazy. You don't have those Peyton Manning type seasons where Peyton Manning threw 25 interceptions his first as a rookie, and you knew Peyton Manning was great after 4 years in college. They're just so much more prepared, which is kind of crazy to think how you could be more prepared than a Manning, but it's just that the way the game is now. So quarterback centric it has been, but more so than ever. So I don't know. I just think they're coming in more prepared, and I don't see him. He wouldn't have a 25 interception season. I think he would be low in interceptions if he can, and then, like you said, get rid of the ball, not take a lot of sacks. But we'll see. He's definitely the most talked about 4th-string quarterback in the NFL history.
No doubt about it. But one quick stat, and I don't know if they're exact numbers, but they're pretty damn close. In college, he threw for 76 or 77 touchdowns with 13 picks. Wow. That's a pretty good ratio. So he is accurate. I mean, and he never had an offensive line. I watched all the Colorado games. That offense, I mean, he was being chased as soon as he took the snap, So I'm a believer in him, man. I think
he can start for sure. I think he could be a starter for sure. Yeah.
Yep. So,
all right. So let's get into our other sponsors. We have Surf Hippie Fishing for all your fishing needs, apparel, and more. Surf Hippie Fishing with a PH.com. They also host tournaments and they get everything you need. Seriously, really cool stuff. We have Elite Performance Chiropractic. I was actually visiting a friend at the pool in this area. It's not the pool I go to. He and his family, and Jeremy Phillips walked out, former professional football player. I didn't recognize him because I wasn't expecting to see him. He had like his sunglasses on and he's with his family. Yeah. He said, I saw Johnny O the other day. Can't wait to be on the pod again. But he's the chiropractor, former professional football player, Elite Performance Chiropractic. And 2 great locations get you feeling better than ever with Performance Chiropractic, Winston-Salem and Greensboro. Who you got?
We got Shank and Torrance Insurance, located in Greensboro, but they serve the entire triad in state. Brian Torrance specializes in personal insurance, including auto, homeowners, and life insurance. He's my man for all my insurance needs. You can call him at 336-310-1320 for all your insurance needs. And then my good friend Davis Troxler. I got a feeling he's been very busy the last couple of weeks with all this rain that the Carolinas has had, but he's got Tee It Up Indoor with his 3 new simulators with over 100,000 golf courses to play, with a full golf store inside, and he serves drinks as well. Go visit him over on Battleground Ave. Tee It Up Indoor.
Excellent. All right, you're our baseball guy. The Brewers are making some noise, surprising people. They've won 10 in a row. Can a small market team win in this Major League Baseball environment? Typically dominated by the Dodgers and the Yankees and the Mets. Well, not the Mets really, but the Red Sox. Can a small market team like Milwaukee, a smaller market, can they break through this year?
Well, they certainly are on their way. Best record in the Major League Baseball right now, and we're in mid-August. That's pretty impressive. They're 74-44. What's that? 30 games over 500. The next best team is the Phillies. At 69 and 49, that's only 20 games over. I mean, the Brewers are by far right now have the best record in Major League Baseball. But, well, a couple things about them. The reason why they're so good right now is overall baseball. They're a small ball type team. They really don't rely on the home runs. They rely on pitching and a lot of hits. And the key is stolen bases. They're number 2 in the major leagues in stolen bases, number 6 in hits. They're pitching. They're number 3 in earned run average, which is huge, 3.61 as a entire pitching staff. They have number 5 in saves. They have 34 saves, so they're an all-around outstanding team. And they have their one big star is Christian Yelich, I should say, 22 homers, which is pretty good, but he's got 75 RBIs. But this guy was the National League MVP in 2018 and the National League batting champ in 18 and 19. He's had some injury-filled years, so he's back healthy. So he's kind of leading that team. Will they win it all? My opinion, no, because you still got the Toronto is on fire in the American League. Boston, my team, has been just lights out since really the 4th of July. Well, I actually go back to Father's Day. I mean, they've been. I think they got the best record in baseball since then. Detroit is really good this year, and Houston's always really good. But then you look in the National League, where the Brewers are. The Dodgers they're so loaded. They got so many great players. Of course, Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman. I mean, having 3 guys like that is ridiculous. Blake Snell and Clayton Kershaw as the pitchers. They're just kind of cruising through the season. They're at 68 and 51, first place in the National League West, but they're just waiting for the playoffs. They want to stay healthy and all that. The Mets are very disappointing this year, but Philadelphia is still on top of the East. So I think Milwaukee, once the season comes to an end and then the playoffs start, they're going to run into a healthy Dodger team, a fired up Philadelphia team. I don't think they make it to the World Series out of the National League this year, but they're having one hell of a season. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with having a great season. That's 162 games. If they end up with the best record throughout the season, let's applaud them. And I don't know what's going to happen in the playoffs, but I don't think they have enough to beat those other couple 3 teams.
Okay. All right. And good breakdown and analysis. I'm probably forgetting a team. What was the last small market team? Tampa Bay to win the World Series? I'm probably forgetting somebody. It's been a while. This smaller market, I'm probably blanking on somebody. But anyway, it doesn't happen very often.
It doesn't. It doesn't. So, and the funny thing is the Chicago Cubs are having a great year, but they're in the same division as the Brewers. So they're like 5 or 6 games behind the Brewers in their division. And the Cubs are having one of their better years. So they're going to give them a hard, if they make it into the wild card, the Brewers will have a hard time with them as well. So there's a lot of good teams, but I'm hoping my prediction is still no prediction. I want to say Boston because they have really been on fire, but I don't think they have enough to make it to the World Series from the American League. And as long as they're better than the Yankees, I'm happy though. So,
yeah, as not a huge baseball fan, I can totally get behind that. As long as the Yankees are out, I'm good. All right, so NFL season's kicking off in the next couple of weeks. I mean, as far as the regular season. And so we're going to share, as of right now, who's the player most excited to see play in this upcoming season. And it could be anybody. It could be for any reason. And for me, I'll go first this time. I'm going to go with someone who looked human last year, someone whose weapons were greatly diminished overall, but whose weapons are back. The team's supposed to have much more speed, healthy on the outside, some rookies coming in that are explosive. It is the GOAT of this generation, Patrick Mahomes. And the reason I'm excited about it is because last year he wasn't really that fun to watch. The games were close, but he's throwing for 215, some games like 180.
Yep.
You know, he wasn't having those 4 touchdown games, 300 yards, 350 yards, no deep balls because they didn't have any stretch of the field. Rashee Rice was injured, and I should have double checked some maybe suspension or something, but he'll be there on the field. They got some young guys. Kelsey will be, you know, the over the middle security blanket, but I think their offense is going to be much improved. Although they arguably are in the best division, at least coaching wise, in all of football for sure, with Harbaugh and Denver's coach Sean Payton, and then you got, I mean, this is like a murderer's row of coaching, Pete Carroll, right? And so you got all these great coaches all in one division. But I'm really excited about it because when it's magic time and it's Patrick Mahomes is playing at the top of his game, there's no one, in my opinion. He's the one person that reminded me of every time Michael Jordan played, where it's like, I'm going to see something different. And if the game is close, they're going to win. And a bad season for Patrick Mahomes is losing in the Super Bowl, you know, and but he didn't have a great individual season. They've found ways to win. So if they can get back to explosive offense, he is must-see TV for me, and I'm not even a Chiefs fan.
No. No, you made a lot of good points about him, but I tell you what, you know, he really did. His season stats were not that great, you know. So he needs, and I think that's why you're excited about it. If he has about the same year as he did last year, are we going to start wondering, is he really that great? Okay, he's really, really good, and he is great to this point. But if he had another season like that. But back to what you're saying, he is magical, man. I love when he's throwing behind his back and throwing left-handed, right-handed. I mean, he is a lot of fun to watch.
And even, you know, they make fun of his dad about it, but somehow, some way, if they need a 30-yard scamper, he gets it done. He'll spin move. He's smarter than everyone on the field, so they think he's going out of bounds. He spins back in. I mean, he's just so fun to watch, and he can make every throw, and his arm is just insane.
He's like that guy that's the we used to call him the all-time quarterback if we played backyard football or something.
Yeah.
And he would always get it done for whoever he was quarterback, and it's kind of interesting. But well, my take is a little different. I guess I'm not as excited about it, but I'm very interested in this guy. I want to see what happens. This could be a very interesting season. J.J. McCarthy with the Vikings. Okay. You know, he sat out all last year as a rookie, you know, injury. Okay. Sam Darnold had, a career year with one hell of a Minnesota Viking team last year, put up big numbers, 35 touchdowns, only 12 interceptions. Now, he did kind of hit the crapper, you know, in the playoffs in the last couple games. Sam Darnold did. But they're really and now they get rid of Sam Darnold and they're counting on this J.J. McCarthy, and I don't understand it. And that's why I'm so interested in seeing what this guy's all about. He is a national champion. He won it with Michigan, okay? But if you remember, I mean, he's 6'3", 200 pounds, so he's a solid quarterback. But he didn't really have the big numbers at Michigan, so I don't understand where this is coming from. He threw for about 2,900 yards in each of his last 2 years at Michigan with 22 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. Okay. Right. I mean, I know they were a running team and Jim Harbaugh, likes to run the ball and all that, but, so why is this guy, why is Minnesota putting all their money on him? And then I'm thinking, well, maybe he ran, if they were a running team at Michigan, maybe 200 yards each season. That's all he ran for. So he doesn't run either, Not taking anything away from him. Obviously, he must be a very smart quarterback. And he is coming into a team that has some serious weapons. So, I mean, if he is going to throw the ball, he's going to have, a lot of fun throwing it to their weapons. And he was 10th in the Heisman Trophy voting in, his senior year. So I don't see where. Right?
I don't get it at all. Well, like you just brought it up, and so I just wanted to double check it out. It's one of those things that make me pay. But like your boy Kyle McCord from Syracuse, He threw for 4,700 yards.
Yeah. Double that.
Yeah, double that, and
Yep.
rushed for more yards. And he was the top passing quarterback as far as yards
Right.
in college football last year. He had a chance to get Aaron Rodgers on a 1-year deal, and Aaron Rodgers with Justin Jefferson and, like you said, those weapons. Yeah, I think you see I think you just throw out, and he would have completed, to me, the most exciting thing, the Brett Favre trifecta, where he goes Green Bay, goes to the Jets, then goes to Minnesota. He could have done the exact same thing, and they ruined it. He better have a heck of a season, because last year they won 14 games, right? Season, the Vikings. I think they're going to be lucky to get 10 wins. They have a good coach, a very good coach. They have good weapons, but I don't get it at all. But they also brought in Daniel Jones, right? Isn't that their backup?
No,
Minnesota didn't have Daniel Jones. Who did
Daniel Jones went to? I can't remember who's he.
Who's their backup? Let me see. I'll check it real quick. But I don't know why I thought Daniel Jones was there, because I was like, oh, okay, so that's their guy, just in case.
But I tell you, and that's why I picked this guy. I'm just very interested in.
Sorry.
Who?
Colts. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Daniel Jones with the Colts.
That's right. But that I'm just finding it very interesting, and I think that's going to be an interesting kind of watch to see how he does and try to match what Minnesota did last year. And they're going against they got the Detroit Lions and Green Bay in that division, so he doesn't have an easy task. So we shall see, and I'm really kind of looking forward to that. But while we're on to talk about football, I don't like bringing this up, but I have to. I got to talk about the Cowboys for one moment. Okay, you're going to enjoy this. This might be a great take for a TikTok here. I was watching First Take today, and Denzel Washington was on there. All right, he's got a new movie coming out, which I'm excited about. But he's a Cowboy fan, but he's a disappointed Cowboy fan. He was very cool on what he was saying. He goes, I'll always be a Cowboy fan, but I'm not liking what's going on right now. Listen to his quote. I think this is one of the greatest quotes I've ever heard about the Cowboys. He said, he looked right into the camera. He said, "Hey, Jerry, there's box office, and then there's the Oscars. Hey, Jerry, it's been a long time since you've been invited to the Oscars." I said, that is outstanding. It's all about the box office, which is the money, hey, let's see how much we can make, $100 million. But then you don't win the Oscar for it. Oh my God.
I love that.
Is that awesome or what?
I love Denzel. Gosh. He just, he doesn't fail, even on a sports talk show. He's the man.
He is the coolest, man. So,
well, I love that. It's a perfect way to end. Make sure you subscribe to our podcast. We have weekly podcasts. We already got a full year under our belt, or I guess, it's been a year. And so I don't know officially a year, but we have more than a year's worth of episodes. We have some little bonus ones thrown in there, but it's been a lot of fun. And if you want to be a part, as far as a sponsor, it's real easy. Just message us on any of the social media, or email Johnny at sportscarolina@gmail.com, sportscarolina@gmail.com.
All right, good stuff.
We're not talking overtime pay, we're talking the overtime play. The big stories, the big plays.